A news conference canceled, a prayer vigil canceled, new details from the Paine College shooting throwing off officials' plans.
You're watching News 12 in high definition with breaking news.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Jessica Dill. We begin with new details just into our newsroom about two shootings on Paine College's campus. News 12's Laura Warren spoke with Richmond County Sheriff Richard Roundtree. She joins us live in the newsroom with what we know. Laura, you just spoke with the sheriff, right?
Just about 30 minutes ago, Jess. A lot of new information. Sheriff Roundtree confirms to me that the suspect in custody is a student at Paine College as well. Right now, the sheriff also says investigators aren't really sure if there are multiple shooters or if the man in jail, Xavier Cooper, there on your screen, is the main shooter. The sheriff also says they believe the two shootings, Sundays and Mondays at Paine College, are connected. He says the investigation shows this incident stems back from an argument up to 2 weeks ago. The sheriff also confirms Monday's Paine College victim is in critical condition this midday. Another development that we've learned, Paine College police and the sheriff's office do not have radio communication. Paine has to call 911 just like everyone else, and they're working to change that by buying their own radio system. As for now, Richmond County is helping out with extra security just in case another active shooter may be on the loose. Now, this quote coming from Sheriff Roundtree, he says, "We've stationed deputies at every entrance to Paine College. Only people that will be allowed in are students and faculty. If other people have business on Paine College, they will be escorted by a Paine College police officer to conduct that business." Now, the sheriff also confirms a third shooting may be tied to this incident. They're looking into a shooting that happened earlier this week on Laurel Street. Now, we will continue to dig into that. Of course, you'll hear more from the sheriff coming up on News 12 first at 5 and News 12 at 6 o'clock. For now, live in the newsroom, Laura Warren, News 12.
All right, thank you for that, Laura. Also, more developments after these shootings at Paine College. Vice President Brandon Brown just held a news conference. We're going to go to the Heal complex of campus. We have Jerome Collins standing by. Jerome, tell us what he had to say.
Spoke live with the school official for Paine College, Brandon Brown. He did not disclose too much new information. Of course, earlier today there was supposed to be a 10 o'clock news conference that lasted about 15 seconds. We spoke with him outside following that conference, or a brief discussion, and at that point he said that there would be another conference held today around noon, which they kept their word. What they did disclose, that new information today, is that they are saying that they do not believe, or they would not specify whether this second shooting that occurred yesterday had anything to do with retaliation for the first shooting that occurred on Sunday. The vigil, of course, here outside Gilbert Lambeth Chapel has been postponed. We asked Brandon Brown why they decided to postpone it, and he felt it was a matter of safety. He would not specify if there was any immediate threats posed to any students or staff, but he said that they canceled it because they felt it was in the best interest of everyone involved. We understand there will be a 4 o'clock presser. We will be live to report on that, and that's the latest that we can tell you right now. Back to you, Jessica.
All right, keep us updated. Thanks, Jerome. So who is Xavier D'Anthony Cooper? Well, we are learning more this midday about the man who allegedly pulled the trigger. News 12 did some research and found that Cooper has multiple hits to his record. First, in 2011, Cooper faced charges including simple battery and affray fighting. A month later, he was charged with contributing to delinquency of a minor and loitering. Then, in June of 2012, Cooper faced criminal damage to property charges. Then, just this past December in 2013, Cooper was booked in Fulton County Jail for possession and use of drug-related objects. He was released on bond. Let's head on over to meteorologist Tim Strong with the check of the forecast. Tim.
Well, the summer-like conditions, Jess, are going to continue around the CSRA today. High and dry here on Doppler Max radar. Absolutely gorgeous, just very warm. And we're noticing, again, those temperatures climbing into the mid and upper 80s. Got a beautiful shot of Wheeler Road and Interstate 20 here. First part of May just feels a little bit more like late May and into early June. Early scattered clouds continue to pass off to the north. Frontal boundary kind of stalled out up around North Carolina and Virginia. But looking at the temps that are going to be very warm this afternoon. Low 90s, 91 to 93 from 3 to 5 o'clock, and going back into the upper 80s. Still quite warm towards 7 p.m. And the breeze will continue mainly from the west at 5 to 10. Doesn't appear that we're going to see a whole lot of a pattern change until the late part of the week going into the upcoming weekend, so we're just going to have to bear through these lower 90s, Jess.
Thanks, Tim. New this midday, escaped inmate Robert McClellan has been captured. Georgia Department of Corrections telling 12 McClellan was recaptured on Sunday morning. Officials say McClellan jumped a fence around the Augusta Transitional Center in April. He was serving a 10-year sentence for a theft by taking conviction in Burke County. He had been at the Transitional Center since December. New numbers out today as construction continues at Plant VOGTLE. Government loans will help save around $250 million. 2 more nuclear reactors are being built at the nuclear plant. Private lenders would have charged even more for those loans since they see it as more of a risk. Earlier this year, Georgia Power reached a deal to get lending from the U.S. government. Now we know the government loans were the better of the 2 options. South Carolina Republican Trey Gowdy says he has evidence of a Benghazi cover-up. House Speaker John Boehner has picked a leader to investigate whether the White House tried to cover up the death of the U.S. ambassador to Libya and 3 other State Department employees. Democrats say they haven't gotten any details from Gowdy or Boehner yet about the committee and are pushing for a no vote on forming one. The Mills Project should be the big topic today for Augusta commissioners. Some commissioners are questioning using millions for buildings when some areas of town don't have sidewalks or streetlights. Commissioner Alvin Mason will discuss removing SPLOST 7 from the ballot and reworking the projects. City leaders will vote on adding 5 911 dispatchers, which will cost between $60,000 to $75,000. The city's Housing and Community Development Department could receive a $2.5 million loan to continue work in the Laney Walker Revitalization Project. The North Augusta City Council 2/3 of the way done getting new company headquarters to South Carolina. Council members had 2 readings on the property where Medec plans to build its office building. It needs 3 readings to pass and bring 200 employees to North Augusta. City leaders say Project Jackson had a lot to do with moving the medical billing company to the Carolina side of the river. The city administrator says they will allow Medec to use a parking deck that they were already planning to build. So our country is really taking a hit weather-wise this year, but turns out we're in for more. Up next, we're going to tell you about the cusp of climate change we are on.